Yes, lads, what is going on? Welcome to episode 28 of the Under-23 Sorare Road to Glory. We had a massively successful weekend last week, which I can't wait to share the details of with you guys. Before we do get into that though, if you are new to the channel and you haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing so. And if you do enjoy the video, please do leave it a like. And without further ado, lads, let's get straight into things. Recapping last weekend, 240 was, on paper, our bread and butter. It did not turn out that way though. 88 points away from the threshold, 251 points. I mean, yeah, just not good enough. Kampelat, Pendixbor look like they're going down, so things are not looking good with him. 2-0 defeat at home there. Andrade, not a great score to be honest, with a clean sheet. Darland again with a really good score, that's 2-2 for him. Suzuki got a big chance miss, which was really disappointing, and he blanked at home. And then Griffin Yao as well, no goals for Westerlo at home, a blank for them, so pretty disappointing. But, you know, only one good score there. We didn't deserve to hit the threshold at all. For under 23, again, a very bad score, to be honest. Campos is the only outlier here as far as good scores go. Massive score away to Zaragoza. I really did not expect this. 20 AA to go with that, which was huge. But yeah, Montes and Emilio Martinez did not bring home the bacon in Mexico for us. Madsen is our captain, like I said. You know, Westerlo, Griffin Yao, no goals for them. And yeah, just a very disappointing score from Jorgen Larsson. At home, 2 big chances missed, 2 shots on target. Just a disaster. Something that I really did not expect. In that our Cap 270 team, if we can find it, managed, here it is. Lads, we scored 420 fucking points. What is going on? I don't think we've ever scored above 400. Never mind 420. 100 from our captain Clerk. Unbelievable. 154 points. Just under 53 AA. With a decisive action as well. Just mental. Lucas Zidane away to Leganas. I don't know what went on here. I really thought there was goals in this game. But Eibar looking really good right now. Leganas is still top of the league, I believe. But a clean sheet nonetheless. Our other Darlin, obviously we have 2. Another nice AA score from him. Ivan Heel with 16 AA. Not great. Not terrible. But keeps us in it. In a 2-1 win against Valladolid. And then Carlos Martin, consecutive good games from him. A goal today in this fixture, and then the weekend before that, I think he got like 15 AA, which helped us hit the middle threshold. So he's been a part of 2 winning lineups recently. And as we won a tier 2 for the first time, man, like, this is ridiculous. Like, we're used to tier 3s, tier 4s, tier 5s on this series. To hit a tier 2 was mind-blowing, genuinely. Like, I could not believe it, especially in the lineup that we didn't prioritize. Like, 240 was the last lineup we made, you know. Clerk was coming back off a suspension. Lucas Zidane had a tough fixture, I thought. Ivan Heel hasn't really been hitting too many decisives. Darland, you know, I fancied Darland to do pretty well. Carlos Martin was on a bit of a goalless streak as well, even though he had a few good AA games previously. And sometimes, lad, these lineups just come together. You just can't really explain it. It just happens. You know, luck comes your way, and yeah, you manage to luck into a tier 2, which I really, like, genuinely never expected to win a tier 2 or above on this series this year. Genuinely now. Even though, you know, you want to aim high and whatever. But being realistic, I thought tier 3 was sort of our cap, realistically, of, you know, as far as, you know, rewards that we could win. I was unbelievably happy with that Andrade win, which was a tier 3. I'll show you on screen right now who we pulled. Let me know what you think. So, Xander Silva, Atlanta United forward, 26 years old, Portuguese, for our tier 2. Now, his scores aren't unbelievable. You know, they're not terrible. They're quite peaky. Like, there's 100 in there, there's an 83, a couple of 60s, but we can't really count them as peaky in that sense. He's not a number 9. He plays off the wing. He's a decent player, and I'm still a bit undecided whether or not to sell him. So I am interested to hear your thoughts in the comment section, lads. Let me know what you think. I mean, he auctioned last night. It is the jersey mint, to be fair, the 16 of 16. It went for like 18 quid, 17 pounds. I mean, you can't really compare, you know, our card to that. Ours is number 24 out of 1,000. And yeah, you could probably argue he's worth a tenner, realistically, which I'm buzzing about. Like, that's the most expensive reward we've ever won. Now, obviously, you know, we have new MLS cards right now. He is a new MLS card. So it could be a good time to maybe sell into that hype. They do play at home to New England Revolution this weekend. So part of me wants to use him potentially. A low enough L15 to get on board with, maybe for 240 or 270. These MLS cards are in season now until the end of the MLS season. So, you know, you will be able to win cash with cards like this. I don't think, us on this series will be competing in season competitions. We're going to stick to our, our 240, 270 and under 23. So yeah, I am undecided what to do with him right now. I think we are going to play him for this weekend. I want to enjoy him for once, let's not sell him straight away. We've got plenty of time to sell him. I think the hype around, the in-season cash competitions will allow these cards to probably, bubble up nicely as far as price goes. For the next few weeks, I'm going to assume. And so, yeah, I don't think we should be in a rush to sell him. And yeah, we're going to use him this weekend. Looking over on Play Sharper then, expected scores. I don't think we did this last episode, so I am sorry for not doing that, but we'll do it this weekend. We've got Andrade as the main man at home to Salzburg. Doesn't feel like the best of fixtures, but it could be very, very busy on duels and tackles and interceptions. So that could be pretty fun. No predictions for Montez yet. Zidane's at home. We've got Clerk away to Villarreal 2. Carlos Martin's at home. Campos is at home as well, actually, to Leganas. Klein Hansel's in there as well. Monchu. Mateus Ryu, by the way, at 90%. I have not seen that site for a few weeks, so that's fun. Madsen at 95%. So far, all our players are, on track to play, which is good. Darlin's in there. Ivan Heel. Xander Silva's in there at 90% at home to the Revs, like I said. We've got Mayer in there at 70. Cham's at 90. Richie Delate again, gone off the face of the earth. Suso's not really nailed. Brennan, by the way, coming off the bench, got himself 2 assists, I think, last weekend. And away to Villa's not an easy game, to be fair. But he is predicted to start, which is fun. We've got Griffin Yao in there at 95%. Pasalic at NA right now, no Riker predictions. Yuito Suzuki is away to Viborg, but no predictions for him. El Karauni at 90% away to Almira City. That's pretty fun. Khalifa Koulibaly suspended. Larson's at 90% away to Real Madrid, which cannot be fun. And then we've got Kampalat down here away to Fenerbahce. So, yeah, that could be 10-0, to be fair, with the way the Pendixspor are playing right now. So, we're going to get into some lineup building then. We've got 270, 240, and under 23 limited to kind of look at and see what, works. So, let's go into under 23 limited for now and see what our best under 23 team could look like. It'd have to be Campos in goal. I think there's no questions about that. Let's move over to midfield. We have nobody above an A pick score, which isn't a great sign, but it's not everything. Let's go Monchu. We know he is capable of peaks. We could go Carlos Martin up front. In defense, we can go Jasper Darland. Why not? Double A. And then as our extra player, it's either Montez, Madsen maybe. Away to Mechelen isn't terrible. Let's go Montez for now. Let's captain Monchu. That would give us a 72 lineup strength score. Now, the lineup strength score isn't the be-all or end-all. Don't take it as gospel. I mentioned this quite a lot in the series, but it is a good indication sometimes of how strong your 5 players is against the rest of the field, the rest of the potential lineups that could be in there this weekend. And that team's okay. It's 4 home fixtures. I don't mind it. Darlin's on fire right now. He's kind of fixture proof in, I'm relatively confident in that team. I don't think it's unbelievable. Let's go into 240 and see what we could build there, though. I just want to see how that could look. Let's bring in Silva for his debut at home to the Revs. L15 of 48. I think we have to go Zidane at home. Now, we do kind of need somebody with a low L15 here to maybe counteract the rest of our guys. Maybe Yuito Suzuki. I know he hasn't been incredible, but L15 of 37. I think Daniel Wass is suspended this weekend, actually, for Bromby. So, not that they play the same position, but, I think Suzuki probably starts again, even though he hasn't been great. That leaves us with 102 points with this. We could use, one of the 2 Darlings quite comfortably at 51. Let's do that for now. We could go Ivan Heel. That doesn't feel like a terrible decision, even though they're away. We could go with Montes. I know he hasn't been unbelievable, has he? Does he outscore Darland is the question. I mean, it's hard to argue with Darland's most recent scores, whereas, Montes just hasn't been that great, if we're being honest. Because Pasalic seems to get brought off at halftime quite a lot, which is really annoying. And there's just not many peaks in his score, whereas at least there's a few peaks I can see here from Ivan Heel. Go in and captain Darland. That gives us a lineup strength score of 68, which is fine. It's not as good as our under 23 team, but, there's a different objective here in that sense. We're not looking for this team to absolutely smash, even though to hit the 340 point threshold, you do need every player to do really well. Don't get me wrong, you really do. But I think that is the play because, we're not against any of the players here in 240. I know there's cards that you're fighting for against other users, but ultimately that threshold is, it's me versus me. Whereas, playing under 23 limited, whereas under 23, my 5 players are playing up against every other 5 players or users with those cards in that division. So the dynamic is a little bit different there. So I'm not really too worried about the lineup strength score there. Seeing as though we didn't use Campalat in Cap 240, let's play him in here then. Let's throw Darland number 2 in defense, Monchu as our midfielder, Martin as the forward, and then it's either Madsen, Montez, Cham, Griffin Yao. I mean, if I had to stick my neck out and say one name, it probably is Madsen. Even though they're away, it's not the best of fixtures. I would probably go in and captain Monchu, just because I don't want to captain Darland in 2 lineups and him, like, completely kill me in both. Even though I'm playing him in both, so there is still risk there, 100%. Then go into 270 and go Campollat, Andrade. For our extra player, let's go Clerc, because we have to play him. He's an absolute beast right now. And then 105 points left. Let's go Pasalic for now. And then Griffin Yao up front. That feels fine. Well, Captain Clerc, because he scored 100 last week, he is the reason why we hit that tier 2. So, we have to pay homage to him and give him, the armband there. And then that, lads, is going to complete the lineup building for this episode. We've got 240, 270, under 23, limited. And yeah, it's a weird one because, our least prioritized lineup last week won a reward. So going forward, who knows what's going to happen? Anything can happen in this game. Football's a funny old sport sometimes. And yes, certain things happen with these players that you really don't foresee. But that's just the beauty of the game. That's why we all come back to play it, because, everyone is within a chance of winning something. As we've seen last weekend, like I won a tier 2, and that's something that we've never done before. And it's taken us months to do that. If you keep buying a ticket, eventually something probably goes your way. And it happened for us last week. Are we going to be able to do that again? Who knows? But I'm here to find out, and I hope you are as well. So lads, if you did enjoy the video, please do leave it a like, and I shall see you guys in next week's episode.